Hey, this is UnrivaledSkyrim, bringing you another Rome Total War online multiplayer battle on the, I think it's the, Germanic Forest Map. This is a, it's a 3-player free-for-all match. I am playing as the Julii Romans, and my opponents are using Britannia, and the other one is using the Germans. And let's take a look at my army right here. I have all legionary cohorts, I think 4 or 5, maybe 6, and 2 units of legionary cavalry, and that's where my generals, that's the one my general's in right there. I think it only has bronze attack. I think it was may have been just a 10k. You only got 10k, but I'm not quite sure. I don't recollect. I fought this battle a long time ago. But as you can see, I'm gonna rush for this hill, and it looks like I'm gonna be contending for it against the Britannia player. Oh, and I also brought 2 units of, I don't see them, they're back there, they're gonna be up here, but not the light auxilia, but the regular auxilia, the ones with the spears. Yeah. So I hope to use them to their functionality as anti-cav units. In this case, anti-chariot units. And I have a mass amount of Roman archers, and they're all spread out. So my plan was to quickly defeat the Britannia player and then turn around to my right flank and then deal with the Germans who would be situated back there. But let's take a look at what the Britannia player brought. His name is Shimham. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that, it's not even a word, but call him Shim. Let's see, he's got some heavy chariots, British heavy chariots. I think he has 4 of those. Yeah. So this was definitely not a CWB match. I think he's got a bunch of Wold Warriors and War Bands and Druids, and he's just got a good assortment of different kinds of troops. I'm not going to go through them all. And the Führer, the German player, I remember this guy because this guy was saying some pretty anti-Semitic things in the chat lobby before the game, but I don't know, he just brings a bunch of German dudes. Of course you're not, he is playing as Germans, but alright, so I'm marching towards the top of the hill with my archers in front, and I'm gonna go face to face with this Britannia player, Shem. And I'm not quite, I think it was last man standing, not scored resolution. So whoever's the last man to not be routed is the victor. Okay, here he is bringing up his chariots, but very slowly, and it's going to give my men enough time to just unleash the fury of Rome. We'll take a look. Let's look through the point of view of the Britannia player, or at least this unit. Okay, they're losing men. Oh, and this was played on huge scale, so there's going to be a lot of men per each unit. But he is losing men rapidly. Very rapidly, because I had all my archers trained on just this one unit. It's just a storm of arrows. And let's see what my auxilia accomplish. Well, this unit totally gets destroyed, but now I have 3 more chariots coming through, and my auxilia are going to try their best to withstand them. So let's take a look at this this utter epicness.
This is no way for a leader to behave, but in battle, it's beyond belief.
Awesome. Let's take a broader look. As you can see, my Auxilia were successful in beating back those rushing man, I can't even speak today. Those chariots. Now, seeing that the Germans were right behind the Britannia player, I was gonna go to the left and try to sandwich the Britannia player right between both of our armies. Came pretty close too. And yeah, it looks like the German player got some weird shots with his chosen warband on the Germanic player. But my plan didn't quite work. He was able to quickly get out of that pincer's movement. But it's all good. But right here, I guess he had a few units hiding, and he chose to take them out so he could strike the Germans. And let's take a look, because I don't think anything happens until after this little fight occurs. Looks like he has 2 Wold Warriors backed up by a Druid unit. These guys. Or wait, those make that 2 Druids. But as you can see, I think I'm in the best position, although I don't have quite the top of the hill, but I have the majority of it. My guys will be able to pounce on any unit which would cross this little no man's zone right here. Alright, the De Fuhrer, he noticed that there's units behind him, so he's going to open fire. And that's going to send Shim, his units, trying to rush up the hill to quickly engage in combat. Let's take a look at this action. So he's going to catch his units, and they're going to start fleeing. Yeah, he should definitely try to keep them in reserve for as long as possible. In my opinion, he used them way too early. Or at least he should have waited till the majority of the German players, his units were already fighting, so they would have been able to sneak around and would have been caught, just because the German player wasn't really doing anything at the time. So the German player, after defeating those units, he's gonna divide his forces, and he's gonna attack both of us, the majority against me, using his berserkers and whatnot. But they're gonna charge my front ranks, and I had my men all in a single line. Originally I had them in a 4x2 formation, but then I just chose to put them in a single formation, make it easier. But here I got a pretty nice rear charge with my general unit, and that's just gonna send pretty much the majority of his infantry and just in a retreat. I mean, whole units of 136 and just 131 just running, barely even did anything. Just all these capable men of, still able to fight. Just easy pickings for my legionary cavalry. And all at the same time, I'm going to take as many rear shots as I can on his units. And it probably wasn't a good idea to split up his forces, because now he sent just a few units to fight the rest of the Britannia guy's player. And I'm going to try to chase down the rest of all the fleeing units as possible, because they will come back and may affect me later in the battle. I mean, that whole unit, I think it had like 160 men, and it just routed just from the sight of my guys.
It's beyond belief.
Pretty much. But I'm in a pretty comfortable position right now. The German player, his army's pretty much in the afterlife right now. And the Britannia guy, he's pretty much neutralized, so at this point I pretty much had the battle in the bag, but I still can't get cocky quite yet. I mean, who knows, the German player may have a bunch of units still hiding, and they may try to team up against me. You never know in a free-for-all, anything could happen. I've had things like that happen before. If I was winning in a free-for-all, then other players would try to team up, and so I wouldn't be the victor. Alright, let's watch this unit right here. I remember this. Yeah, this is from May of last year. Man, this is gonna be a year. This is fought a year ago, but yeah, I'm gonna get some just god-awful rear shots, and this unit's just gonna be liquidated, absolutely destroyed. I feel sorry for these members of the Aryan race. Yeah, I remember this guy because he was making a lot of anti-Semitic, just random anti-Semitic comments in the lobbies and whatnot. And I was glad that I got to fight him and defeat him. He said something like the Jews aren't good enough, and that they don't deserve to be in my German army, or something like that. Then he picks Germans for this battle. And when I absolutely creamed him, I said, well, you know what, you should have had some Jews in your army. Maybe you could have done a little bit better. And he said something like, I don't know, he probably called me a derogatory statement, or something derogatory, something about the Jewish. I don't quite remember that part, but yeah. All I can say is pointless racism and whatnot doesn't make you a better Rome Total War player. I'll just leave it at that. But it looks like he only has a unit of berserkers. Man, why didn't Britannia just try to swarm that unit? Because it's all alone, and he still has some chariots, but whatever. Slightly healthy. 13 units, I think it. I don't know how many units it usually gets in huge scale. Probably 20 something. So I'm gonna descend the hill. I don't need it anymore because I totally outmanned both my opponent's armies combined. So I don't need a height advantage at all. Plus I'm fairly confident that I still have a lot of ammunition, so I could basically just skirmish with them, not even use my infantry and the rest of my cavalry. But there's no point in dilly-dallying. I want to cut to the chase. Besides, he only has 2 units left, and Shim only has a handful. Let's speed this up. This is going to take a while. Although I pretty much haven't been making any mistakes so far, I'm going to make quite a few right here, particularly with my general. I'm gonna think, well, I can charge this berserker unit. I can charge a crap out of him, but look how many horses he destroyed. Quite a bit. More than I thought. Yeah, I was able to take out, what, like 9 guys, something like that? 9 berserkers. But there I kill him.
Be praised! The enemy's hearts are full of fear and now they flee!
And thinking, well, you know what? Those head hurlers, those are missile troops. Those are light infantry. I can totally take those guys out. They're gonna be easy pickings for my heavy cav. Oh no. These guys, come to find out, they got some heavy broadswords and they're gonna stand their ground. He's gonna unleash the remnants of his chariots, and that's gonna send my general fleeing in panic. Like, oh my gosh, shit, gotta get the heck out of here. And like a fool, I turn around, and I was getting shot by my own archers. And there I was able to assassinate the
enemy general is dead.
Well, he'll tell you.
Know their doom approaches.
That's why we have advisors. He'll tell you. But yeah, I was not expecting those head hurlers to hold their ground as they did. I mean, look at all those legionary cav on the ground. It's kind of sad if you think about it. They're probably thinking, yeah, we got this battle in the bag. We're gonna make it. Not really. Now they're just gonna be. They're gonna have to fight in the shade because my arrows are blocking the sun. Look at that. See that? Those shadows aren't from the trees. Those are from my arrows that I'm unleashing. But too bad these guys aren't Spartans. They're only British dudes. Yeah, thoughts about this battle. I was very lucky to be deployed next to this high ground. I would have hated to be down here. But if I were him, I would have tried to go all the way around through this way and try my best to have those guys duke it out, because it was last man standing, or I think it was, and try to go around and just bypass the forest, because they were both playing as barbarian factions, which gets they get bonuses fighting in the woods. And besides, it would have been easier for my army to fight in the open anyways. At least, you know, it's easier to fight when you can see everything, when there's not trees hindering your vision. Better for your micro. But yeah, good game to De Fuhrer and yeah. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you later. Go Gators.